Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are excited to have our next guest joining us here, Liana Thompson. She's the owner and vibrational sound therapist at Simply Sound Vibrations from Wellington, Delaware. Please welcome Lana to the show. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Excited to have you here. And I did some research on you, and I want everyone to go to the website as well, simplysoundvibrations.com. You can go right there to find out more information. But today we're going to get to know Lana, find out what exactly sound vibration is. Of course, all her offerings we'll find out, and how this could be beneficial to you. So, first and foremost, welcome to the show. Tell me a little bit about your background and what it is that you do.
So, my background, I started in corporate, dabbled in herbal remedies, which is what started this journey, piqued my interest and started this journey. And then I stumbled upon a sound therapy certification course through Vibrational Sound Association, which you can also find online. They do travel. And I took a 6-day intensive certification course. And that's what started me on this sound therapy journey. The light bulb came on when I realized that I use sound, and most people do, and not realizing it, that you use sound and sound therapy in your everyday life. It's the music that you listen to, it's the things that you listen to on the radio, it's what you watch.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is those sounds and sounds that we're not even aware of attack the body every single day. And when you're become a sound therapy practitioner, the sounds that you are learning to make and the techniques that you're learning to do help your body to heal. So they're more healing sounds and not attacking sounds that we are using to help the body regulate itself, basically.
Wow. All right. This is great because we're going to dive into it because there's a lot that I want to know. Some people here want to know exactly, um, what exactly is sound therapy? And of course, how can that be of service to us? Could you share?
So I get excited and then I get into a bunch of the science.
Okay.
So let's do some science first. So we all know that we hear through our ears, and what happens is we are actually our bodies are translating sound waves in the air. That's basically how we hear. Um, and when those sound waves hit your eardrum, the little thing that's in your ear that is
Yeah.
banging on the drum is vibrating based on the waves that are coming into the canal. That signal, if you will, gets channeled through your body through a main nerve called a vagus nerve, which you can Google and research. It's VAGUS, vagus
Yeah.
nerve.
Okay.
That nerve runs through a lot of your major organs. So the simplistic form of how sound works in the body is that when you hear something and it resonates with you, you get goosebumps or
Yeah.
you get chills. That's your body telling you, yes, I like this sound. That's what's happening. So when you come to sound therapy and you come to a sound therapy, you go to a sound bath or you go have a sound massage, that's basically what's happening when you're in that experience. So they're producing certain sounds, certain waves, certain frequencies, and introducing them into your body via your ears, or via, if it's a sound massage, they're literally placing a bowl on your body. And when they activate that bowl, the vibration is being introduced into your body where that bowl is placed. So there are the two ways that sound enters the human system, either
Mm.
through your ears. If you sing, if you're a singer,
Uh-huh.
your own voice has the ability to heal you based on certain notes and things that you sing. So if you
Wow.
happen to take courses with like singing coaches and things of that nature. Some singing coaches are also sound therapy healers
Yeah.
because they're able to teach you how to use your own voice to heal yourself, because it's possible. Your own voice vibrates, and there's scientific evidence to support that.
Even if I'm a
I'm not
bad singer?
I'm a bad singer too. So I'm like, yeah,
Okay,
I'm
good.
not singing. I don't think I want to do that.
Oh, that's
um
great.
but I do know that is possible. It's the same as chanting. So if you do yoga and you
Mm-hmm.
chant the and you're all chanting together, that is very healing. Most people that are cat owners, when their cats purr, that is also healing. That's a healing purr that they do. So there are myriads of ways to use sound to help yourself heal, to help your nervous system. Um, what we what most practitioners are doing is helping you access the other side of your nervous system. So most people are familiar with the flight or fight part of the nervous system. When you're
Mm-hmm.
excited or
Yep.
whatever, that's the nervous system that we typically operate in all day long.
Got it.
What we need to access, and the only time we can access it is when we get really good sleep, is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the rest and restore. So in order to
Oh.
rest and restore,
Oh.
you have to get into a state where your body is comfortable enough to let things go. The only
Ah.
time we typically do that is when we sleep. But if you're not getting good sleep, you're not resting and restoring. So your body is
Mm-mm.
constantly on that fight or flight every single day. You think you're resting, you get up, and you haven't. So your body hasn't had a chance to detox all the stuff that you've been bombarded with during the day
Wow.
to start again. So sound therapy is a way for you to get to that part of your nervous system, let your body rest, let your body heal, so that you have better sleep. You end up getting better sleep if you're an insomniac, or you end up having lower blood pressure if your blood pressure is high, because now your body is comfortable enough to actually rest. And
Interesting.
it's in the rest that your body restores itself.
Got it. Wow. Well, hey, how did you find out about this? How did you come out of the corporate world to learn about this? Could you just share
So
who brought you into this? It's always I would love to
s-
hear this.
so my upbringing, I am a military dependent. And my dad was a 20-year Air Force career person in the medical field. So through him, I was exposed to all kinds of knowledge, um, by osmosis. And once he retired, he took the path of alternative therapies.
Okay.
So I watched my dad become a certified hypnotherapist. He used to help people lose weight and quit smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became a certified massage therapist. So then
Okay.
he was, helping people that way. Um, what else? He also became a Reiki master. So if the listeners are familiar with
Mm-hmm.
Reiki, he was also a Reiki master. So,
Okay.
I'm watching all of this, and I got interested in a different frequency, which is herbal remedies, and using plants and essential oils and things of that nature. It's still a frequency, it's just a frequency in a different way. And that's how I started along this path. So I give my dad a lot of credit. Sadly, he is no longer with us. He's
Sorry.
This is the fourth year that he's been
Yeah.
gone. But I give him most of the credit of setting me on this path of holistic healing, because he was a healer. He was a Western medical healer,
Mm-hmm.
and then he dabbled into alternative therapies. But all through his life, he was someone who wanted to heal, and he was very good at what he did. So I'm just hoping to do the same in a different way using sound. Um, I do sound massage, I do sound baths. I am excited to be going to, was it Rhinebeck, New York, to the
Okay.
Omega Institute next
Oh,
weekend to take a course on from a very well-known person, Eileen McCusick, and she uses tuning forks, which I
mm-hmm.
also have, and it's still sound, but it's a different application
Okay.
of sound.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, there's a lot out there. You find practitioners that resonate with you because we are all different. So, and we're all energy. So somebody's energy may not resonate with you, but there are tons of sound therapy practitioners up and coming or have been sound therapy practitioners for years. You just need to find one that resonates with you.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you for that. Remind us, by the way, all the ways we can reach out to you, the website, phone number, any social
So
media pages you want to share?
you can reach out to me via my website, which is www.simplysoundvibrations.com, or you can follow me on Facebook at the same Simply Sound Vibrations. I make it very easy. It's all the same. Or you can email me at Liana, Liana, at simplysoundvibrations.com. Or you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm also on LinkedIn under Liana Thompson.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. Well, let's continue the conversation if you don't
Sure.
mind. What else did you have in mind for your listeners today? By
Um,
the way, I do have all your questions and notes now. I apologize they were sent late, but we've been on just a roll. So we talked a little bit
yeah.
about,
So we'll just
the
keep going on a
instruments,
roll.
other frequencies, herbs, acupressure. I know there's a lot you want to talk about. So I'll let you just take the lead. Thank you.
So in healing and using healing, I have found personally in working with some of my clients that the best outcome is when you use more than one modality, meaning you may use sound, you may use herbal remedies, you may be juicing and upgrading, improving your diet. You might be getting monthly massages. All of these things combined are what's
Yeah.
keeping you healthy and helping your body heal. So it's not just one thing that is the one all be all will do all.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times if you're dealing with, say, if you're a person dealing with chronic pain, I have found that it works best if you address it in multiple ways at the same time. That way you're basically retraining your body as to the frequency that it should be vibrating at versus the one that it is vibrating at, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Ooh. And you could do the work like this, just curious, people might say, well, how does this work? Like energy healing, like Reiki. How does this work, via Zoom?
So I via Zoom, I don't know. I know Reiki can work via Zoom. It can work um, long distance
Okay.
because Reiki practitioners, and I'm actually I'm certified in Reiki 1 and 2. I'm not a Reiki master, and I don't consciously use my Reiki skills.
Hmm.
So with that being said, I do know that Reiki practitioners, what they're doing is channeling the universal energy that's always all around us. So they're able to channel that energy and send it where it needs to go. So they are actually capable of doing long distance Reiki treatments because that's how things work.
Got it.
That's how the universe works. That's how the energy works. That's how everything works. Um, so I do know that that is capable. As far as sound therapy, there are practitioners that will do sound baths via Zoom. The one that I know off the top of my head, her name is Becca Laredo. She's out of Hawaii. And her profession is she is a professional percussionist in the Hawaii Symphony Orchestra. So she's an amazing sound healer when it comes to sound baths. And I do believe that she does hers over Zoom. I I tend to do mine in person.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my clients doing it in person versus doing it on Zoom is like listening to your favorite song on the radio and then listening to your favorite song live in concert. It's a totally different experience. Both are beneficial, but it's going to be a different experience because of what you're doing.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much for that. Also, I mean, I'm just reading more of your notes here. There's some obstacles you've overcome, right? And we talked about how you
Oh,
got your
yeah.
start. And what else for today did you want to make sure we cover? I mean, we still have 8 minutes left, so we have plenty of time.
We have, let's see. So, overcoming obstacles. The one obstacle that I had to overcome in the corporate world was I was the only female African American in a company of maybe 75 or more. We had
Okay.
at the time we had 3 different offices. And out of those 3 offices, I was the only African American ever in the whole office for 25 years.
Wow.
That becomes very daunting when
Mm-hmm.
you don't have representation and you have cultural differences. It becomes daunting that nobody can really understand you. Um, but you get over that and you realize that you are there for a reason. My reason was because I was good at what I did,
Yep.
and I was, believe it or not, I was the receptionist. So I was the
Mm-hmm.
first person that you would see when you came to this company. When corporate people came to visit and they had corporate meetings and things like that, I was the first person you would see before anybody else. So while it can be difficult, I just would like to tell people that are maybe in that position that you're there for a reason, and to embrace that and be your best, because that's you they hired you because there's something about you that they liked. It has really nothing to do with your ethnic background or anything of that nature. Um, and that was hard for me to process, but I finally did, and it was fine. Um, outside of that, when it comes to sound therapy, the only obstacle is education, because people don't realize that you have the power. You have to advocate for yourself. Even when you go to a Western doctor,
Yeah.
you know your body. Nobody else
Mm-hmm.
knows you like you know you. So you know what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. Um, and take it from there.
Got it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, also, just perusing on your website as well. There's a lot of services and that you offer. We talked about some. What is the BioWell energy reading? How do you learn
Okay.
about? Could you share what that is? Because
So
that's something.
sure, that's an amazing device. It is, excuse me, it's a device that is
Oh,
capable of reading your energy and gives you a snapshot of how your energy is flowing in your body. If you're familiar with chakras, it will also let you know how your chakras are aligning at that particular point in time.
okay. Yeah.
So
Wow.
there are a few practitioners besides myself. I think I'm maybe one of 2 in the state of Delaware. I do know there is a really good practitioner in Tampa, Florida. If you go to, was it Bliss Wellness in Tampa, and you talk to the owner, Niaje Wallace, she is also a BioWell practitioner, sound therapy. She uses a BioWell. She does a lot of research. But the BioWell itself will give you so much information as to how your energy is flowing, where it might be stuck, because we hold emotions in our body. And so in doing a BioWell reading, you can then learn where you are holding yourself back, or where
Mm-hmm.
you may not be processing emotions that may have happened when you were a child that were traumatic and trauma responses that you've held on to all this time. The BioWell can help you pinpoint that and then address it, because all it is basically emotions that
Mm-hmm.
we have buried. Most times it's anger or sadness or shame or even excitement. If you're excited but you don't want to show that you're excited
Yeah.
and you bury those emotions, that stuff gets stuck in your body, and that's what causes what we call dis-ease in the body.
Yeah.
As long as once you acknowledge the emotion and you sit with it and you're like, okay, well, I'm sad. Why? Sad because of this. Is sad because of XYZ. I always ask my clients, what's the why? You have to dig deeper and ask yourself why. Once you come to the answer and you address the emotion, the dis-ease that was attached to it goes away. So,
Ooh.
um,
Can you tell us some client stories, like how, the benefits of this, and give us some great, I would love to hear
um,
some stories.
I have a couple of my clients, most of my clients come because they're processing grief
Mm-hmm.
and they have lost a loved one that was near and dear to them, and they're just having a hard time not necessarily getting over it, but
Yeah.
learning to live in the new normal, because you really never get over that. Like I said, my dad
Yeah.
passed 4 years ago, and you never really get past that. But as time goes on, when you address the emotions that come up around certain dates and things like that, when you address those emotions, then you're better able to be resilient and keep going, if you will, instead of breaking down and stopping or keeping yourself stuck in one part, if that makes sense. Um, I've had clients come in. I mentioned my client that comes in with chronic pain.
Yeah.
It was an experiment, actually.
Wow.
Um, and they were an inspiration for me because I do not suffer from chronic pain. I cannot imagine people that have to get up every single day in pain and have to deal with life
Yeah.
on top of that being in
Yeah.
pain. So I reached out to them and I was like, would you like to try this experiment with me? So we've been experimenting since January, and they came in January. They come usually twice a month, and I do what's called auriculotherapy, which is another application of sound.
Okay.
And I place what we call ear seeds. So I have a tool that finds the acupressure points in your ear, because your ear is a replica of your body, only in fetus form. So there are points in your ear that will correspond to points in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come in, I find the points that need to be treated. I treat it with a frequency, and then I put what's called a Vicaria seed on that point, which the seed holds the frequency and holds it open so that the body can acclimate to the new frequency. We leave those in for a week. We take them off. Then they come back the following week. We put new seeds in and we do the process all over again. Since we started in January, they have only had to take their pain medicine once because of
Wow.
because of things that were going on in their personal life. But typically when you're in chronic pain, your nervous system is so sensitive that any type of stress, any type of emotional strain will flare up that pain.
Yeah.
Um, so in working with me, they have been able to not not cure it, but at least mitigate it enough that the pain is not forefront in their mind. It's not the first thing they think about when they wake up in the morning. It's not the first thing that is in the back of their head when they're doing their daily activities. They don't have that, oh, I'm in pain. Oh, they don't have to worry about that as much. It's still
Amazing.
there.
Yeah.
It's just very, very dull now. So I'm excited that this is working, and I hope to be able to work with other clients or other people that may have the same issue. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yay.
That's it.
That's more than enough. You are awesome. I love this. We're out of time anyway. We just keep talking, but that's great. I'm learning so much. And if someone does want to reach out to you, would you mind sharing how we can contact you?
Sure, you can contact me via email at Liana, Liana, at simplysoundvibrations.com, or you can check out my website at www.simplysoundvibrations.com.
Thank you so much.
You're
Pleasure to have
welcome.
you
Thank
here.
you.
Excited to
Thank
get
you
to
so
know
much.
you. And thank you for doing what you do. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to all of our listeners, viewers, please stay tuned. More of the shows coming right up after the break. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.